We have two special guests with us today. We have Gerald and Vanessa McGill.
Our brother and sister.
Hello, people.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. We have some exciting questions to ask you guys about marriage. Get some insight. We know they have the key. They've been married for how many years?
Only 8.
Only 8.
That's
a long time.
We've been together for 13.
Oh, see?
Yes, 13 years.
See? So, first off, I want to ask, did it change from dating to when you got married? Like, was there a difference?
No difference at all.
So saying I do don't make a difference?
Nah, I mean, it depends on the individual, but we knew going into it that we didn't want our relationship to change, so we kind of kept date nights. We kind of kept our relationship well. We was at a point where we always was able to enjoy each other. So it never kind of got old to us, getting married. It didn't change anything.
That's good, because you hear a lot of times that people change, like the women change. And there's a saying, remember I said the saying before that women get married hoping their man would change, and men get married hoping their woman won't change?
Yeah.
Do y'all think that's true?
Yeah, I mean, marriage is a thing too. I think a lot of people, when they get into marriage, they think that's supposed to be the cure to like the end all be all. Like now everything gonna be perfect because we married. No, marriage is something that you work on daily, and you have to make sure you keep yourself involved with your significant other and keep it fresh. Make sure you do the things that they like to do. Make sure you do the things that you like to do. What you think though, babe? Like,
I mean, I agree. I mean, because marriage is just, I mean, we were married before we even actually got officially married. Married to us was just like, it's the paper, because legally we have to be married because we have things together. But our marriage started way before when we started dating.
That's good.
It was the communication. We already had everything with communication. The things that most people, and like he said, like most people sometimes get us confused when it comes to marriage, because they think that when you get married, things supposed to change. No, they're the same person that you were before when you were dating.
It's going to be the same.
You know what I'm saying? If you wanted those things before you got married, that's why you date. So you should have actually known that when you were dating, the things that you're going to compromise, the things that you're going to actually know, okay, this is what I'm going to compromise. This is what, things change. But marriage should never change the relationship.
That's good.
It's just because of the legality you have to be married. That's why. That's why you get married, because of legality. Other than that, you still married when you're dating because you're together.
Because you made the commitment. You already made the commitment. You know that's where you're going.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with that is people have intentions thinking it's going to change, and when the intention's off.
Expectation,
intention, same thing, right?
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay. What are expectations?
Intentions is when you mean to do stuff. Expectation is when you hoping and wishing.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Being intentional is important.
Boy, it's very important, because intentional, that's a behavior. Mm-hmm. Expectation is a wishing and a hoping. So it's two different things when you look at the intention and the other one.
Okay. Thanks for breaking it down, bro.
No problem.
So let me ask a fun question real quick. What habit does your partner have that drives you crazy or annoys you? Now we know in marriage we get on each other's nerves. I don't know. It happens in ours. I think it happens in a lot of marriages. But what habit or quirk? Y'all could be honest. That's
kind of hard to answer.
Well, I know you guys have been married a long time, but think back to the beginning. We've been together
so long, so it's just like
now it's just
you just
normal.
used to everything.
Yeah, but what about when you first got together?
Oh no, I mean that's kind of hard, because when I first got with Vanessa, she kind of like, it was like she wasn't real, like the way she treated me, like the way she was, like she kind of accepted everything about me. So it kind of showed myself. It kind of her showing herself to me kind of showed me to myself. So.
And the biggest thing, we were both with family, so it's like that's why it clicked so well, because we were both about family. We always wanted to, I was concerned about making family being together. But I know the one thing I do. I'm glad we think it. I know what bothers the hell out of her.
when I tell her, "Oh, babe, look out for this car. Babe, watch where you're getting over. Hey, babe,
Driving. Oh my goodness.
Hey, and I can't help that.
Yeah.
That's like, well, babe, all I'm trying to do is help you. And then she do it to me, and then she don't want it back.
Yeah.
So I think that's the
That's
one
when
right
people
there.
drive. Yeah, because we be like, wait a minute.
What do you
like,
think about that, babe?
Yeah. So we're like, okay. And when he doesn't do it, I was like, okay, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, then she'll say something about, oh, you ain't gonna say nothing about me driving today.
I'm used to it
I'm
now,
trying to
so-
work on it.
That's hilarious.
It's a common thing.
Well, that's what's up. We had that problem too. She don't like when I tell her how to drive.
Oh, that's kind. So,
Yeah,
my brothers are.
I just be like, "Go ahead, you drive."
He
And then
always
she say she get motion sickness when I'm driving, but she
Feel
don't
like a
when
roller
she-
coaster.
when she driving.
I just stay awake.
And then I'm the professional. I'm like,
You
how
also
gonna
from
tell me
Florida.
I'm a professional.
In Florida,
Our
people
brothers are
cannot drive. The worst drivers
Oh,
in Georgia have Florida plates on their car.
No,
Every time something
drive
crazy
and drive.
happens,
It's just the fact that you just got to be ready to him going 100 plus miles an hour. So I stay awake.
No,
Wide
that
awake.
nigga a speed
So
demon.
that's it. So I just got to make sure. I mean, we gonna make it safe
You are
because he
too.
know. I mean, he precision everything. But I told him everybody can't drive like Andrew. You know,
defensive
Jetty. Like
driver.
everybody, he wants me to drive like him, and that's not gonna happen.
I'm a defensive driver.
That's
Yeah,
all
I'm defense
drive.
driving. He's just okay. I just know that's how he's gonna drive.
Just trying to get from point A
See,
to
you
point B.
drive fast too now.
Not like him.
Yeah, cause he get the super speeding tickets. Yeah.
Oh, we stopped that. That's no longer. Yeah, that's been gone since 3 years ago.
I'm like
That's
80
it.
I'm like 85 now. That's my limit.
So what about you, V? Anything about Rod that?
That's more like he said, the driving thing. That's it.
Oh wait, well that's you said what you think she
Yeah,
thinks
that's
annoys
what-
her about you, but what about him?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's what I said. Yep, you right.
I don't know.
So no quirks, nothing he used to do.
I can't think of anything.
Jerry leaves all doors open. He doesn't believe in closing doors. Cabinet door, dresser door, house door, refrigerator door. He leave all doors open. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, she getting used to it.
Yeah.
Shit, I stayed.
You can't
there.
fight every battle. You know, some things you have to pick and choose your battles wisely. So you were saying earlier that she showed herself to you, and she was just real. Like, was it more like too good to be true type of real? Or?
Well, at first, yeah, I thought that. I was like, oh hell no, can't nobody be
From the
like
beginning,
this. What? Yeah, can't nobody be like this. Ain't nobody this happy, this understanding, this collective, this calm, this cool. So you know, it wasn't like I tried to push her buttons, but it took
you
a-
tried to test her to see if it was real.
Yeah, but it took a like 3 years. It was the first time she got mad at me when we first started dating, and I was like, "Oh, what happened to? Oh, this
Oh,
Nessa
nice.
here. This ain't Vanessa no more. This Nessa here." So you know, but I don't get to see that side of her often though.
So when did you know that you wanted to marry her, and when did you know, okay, I could spend the rest of my life with him?
Well, for
How-
me, I always knew.
Like,
I always knew because one thing different about our relationship is I was always in the family, so I kind of knew everybody. So it was a little different.
so you peeped
so
him
I
out,
already
is
knew-
what you're
yeah,
saying.
I
You
already
peeped him out.
already. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. Let me see. Okay.
So how
So I
did y'all
knew.
meet? For the people who listen or watching.
Oh, we met. I asked
We were at
Auntie
Gil.
Auntie Brina. I
Yeah.
asked. I was like, "Hey, who Vanessa talking to?" So I was like, "Give me her number. Get Vanessa's number for me, Auntie." And she was like, when Brina asked her, she was like, "Oh, Gerard, I want your number." She was like, "Well, tell him to ask myself." So the next time I saw her, I asked her for a number, and I was like, "Okay, let me just see." And I think the first night I talked to Vanessa, I was on my way home from work, and we talked for like an hour, and it felt like 10 minutes. And by the time I got home, because it normally takes about like an hour, 15 minutes to get home, so by the time I finished talking, it was like, damn, I got home too fast. So, you know, that's when I kind of knew that, you know, and
First conversation.
first conversation. And it was just conversation. It wasn't about like me or her. It wasn't about, spending together the rest of our life together. It was just good talking, and I enjoyed that.
Did you say you feel the same way? Like first conversation, or was it first week, first month, first date? Because I feel like I knew on our first date. And it wasn't like, you know, it was just, I just knew. Because he asked me what I asked Jerry what was he looking for. And he said he was looking for a wife. And in my head, I said, oh, shit, I'm going to end up marrying this dude. Watch. Because I knew he was going to love me. You know what I mean? So it's like I kind of knew that.
I just knew Gerard was a good family man. I'm just like I said, because I knew the family. So I already knew, you know, I admired how he took care of Jasmine. You know, the situation, how he just made sure she was always first.
How old was she when y'all met?
4. She's actually 4. So it's like I already knew then how he was and how he just handled his business.
Only woman my daughter ever met.
How did you propose? Was it a fancy thing,
no,
or was
actually, it was after we
rolling
came off
over?
of vacation.
And I came in the room and I said, "Hey, babe, we getting married."
I said,
I
was like,
she bust out laughing. She said, "What?"
What?
Because at first I always told her, I was like, "Babe, fuck that. I ain't got to marry you. We ain't got to get married. We married now. Fuck these. We don't need nobody to tell us we married."
No,
so
like,
you know,
when we started,
it was a little different.
Yeah,
but once we started getting in business and stuff, and we started getting
fact,
insurances together and things together, people was like, "Oh, if y'all not married, y'all gonna lose.
Yeah.
Y'all could lose this. If something happened to him, you could end up losing everything to the state because y'all not married. If something happened to you, you could lose everything." So
or to Jasmine. Yeah.
So
the beneficiary.
right. So it was more of, okay, well, we
paper.
building this future together. Let's protect our future that we got with ourselves. So, you know, we felt married like what, 2-3 years into the relationship. I already felt like that was my wife. So it wasn't like I had to prove to anybody else. But for what, business purposes,
legally,
legal purposes, that's like, I don't want to say that's the main reason we got married, but that's what we choose to do because we knew where we was going in the future that we was building for ourselves, that we had to go ahead and do everything legally.
Yeah, but
True
I mean,
story.
I don't feel like it was the business that made it happen because y'all was already together. So it was more of letting the government know what was already going on,
right.
To make it legal.
This is what we already
to make it legal.
Because I think we had a nice way, and I really do.
Wait. So you walked in the room and said, "Babe, we getting married." She started laughing, and then what?
She said, "You serious?"
Yep.
She said, "Well, let me start calling my family." We got married 3 months later.
Yep. We
So you ain't propose with a ring? You ain't do the whole traditional
No, we
thing?
we didn't do the traditional thing. We
actually do nothing.
We went and got a ring after the fact because I was like, ring? I'm not a jewelry person.
She picked out her ring. She saw the ring. She like,
okay,
this baby, this
ahead.
ring. Goddamn, we goddamn went and made it happen.
Ordered a dress out of China.
That's why.
August, everybody said just show up.
That's the thing that I love about my wife because she made everything so easy. It's not like, oh, you got to do this to make me happy because this would make somebody else happy. And in reality, that didn't even make that person happy. You know, you just looking at the ceremony part of, this what Prince Charming did here. Prince Charming come in so many different clothing, so many different looks, and so many different ways.
Yeah, Prince Charming ain't real.
It just depends on you, and that's all. And that's all we ever had was a real relationship. So I never had to try to make her feel good about anything that I did. She always stood behind me. I mean, I get her some shit. I be like, God damn, baby, I almost doubt myself when I go to sleep. And she got more confidence in me than I got in myself. So it just give me a little bit more confidence from being with her for this long. So
yeah, it's good. It's good when you have that confidence.
So our parents have been married for how many years?
Shit, I don't
36?
even know. Shit, they gotta tell me and my wife when we get a call every year when it's our anniversary.
Yeah, we're gonna do anything traditional.
We don't even. I mean, we celebrate it, but it's every day. It's not on
that
this
particular day. Yeah, we gotta do all this.
So every day, every day that I go out, every Friday I look forward to seeing my wife on our anniversary. Every Saturday I look forward. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So one day for me to just single out one day, that's almost cheating my wife. So how why I want to cheat my wife and get her one day to celebrate our marriage and we can celebrate it every day? Just a different way to look at it.
So Jerry, our parents, Jerry Sr. and your mom, they've been married almost 40 years, right? Do you
Yeah.
think that
37.
had any influence on you as far as marriage? Like, did you always know if I get married, it's gonna be forever? Like, I know I want to get married.
That's all I said my whole
Yeah.
life, because seeing that, it do something to you, because like I saw how my mom and dad worked together. So I just looked for that in my wife, and I found it in Vanessa. So I kind of understand why my dad is married to my mom so long, because of what they've been through and how they grew together and how they learned together and how they learned to live together and then raise us. I mean, that's like they I don't want to say treasure, but they really love their kids, and that's like the jewels of their marriage is having us three. So them three jewels that they have, that shines more than anything in their life for them. So hell yeah, I mean, I look up to them all the time.
Vanessa, do you have what were your views about marriage? Did you know you wanted to get married, or did it change?
No, I mean, I always knew I wanted to get married, but I always wanted to be married to somebody that got the same views. You know, like I said, I'm big on family, you know, and we got the same. I mean, we balance each other. You know, it's just like, I always knew, like my parents were still always married, you know, until my father passed. So I always knew I wanted a family, you know, so I always wanted, and, you know, my husband, mommy's and my dad, they got the same laid back characteristics, you know, that they're a family person, and just, I knew. That's why I said when I met him, I already knew, okay, I know he was going to be my husband.
That's interesting. They always say that you end up marrying somebody that's like your parents, one of your parents.
Yep.
Like Jerry is
Her
like
birthday is on the same day as my mom, and they just
Ironic
like
is that?
They just alike.
In some things, not
and
everything.
some, like man, mom
very
crazy.
matter of fact. They're both very matter of fact.
Mom have her ways.
I'm
but,
to the point.
but she got
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
how
good ways.
I'm
my
straight to
mother-in-law
the
is
point.
too.
Vanessa
That's
have
it.
a lot of those ways that like some of the things that dad told me growing up, like about mom, like how she took care of the family off of so much, a little bit of money, and she made it look like a whole bunch of money. Like that's some of the qualities that Vanessa have. So, you know, for dad to tell me that growing up early, and then being with my wife, and I could see that she could make $1 look like 10, you know, I kind of saw the old girl in my wife just from that one comparison. But there's so many that I could go to, but that's just one.
Oh, okay.
So let's get.
So you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead,
babe.
babe.
You said she can make $1 out of 15 cents, basically.
Make $1 look like 10.
So one of the questions is who's the saver and who's the spender?
And how'd you learn how to balance that and talk about it?
I'm the spender.
You the spender.
She the saver.
I balanced the books.
So
everything.
did that cause any problems at the beginning? Like, how did you learn how to talk about it?
What?
And work it out.
At first it was like I was blind to that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what
was.
you mean? I work, this my money. And we end up going to Mississippi one weekend.
We sure did.
And my Uncle T.Y., babe, what my Uncle T.Y. told me is 2 things that
Communication and money.
that could
Or
end a
a
relationship. And
From then.
from that point on, I learned how to trust my wife.
Yeah. We got a bank account together.
Together. Soon as
following
we
week.
came back. And it's so crazy that most people don't listen to things like that. But I think that I wanted to be with Vanessa. I saw like my wife is 5 years older than me, so her maturity level was so much more and so much bigger than mine. To, you know, when I heard my uncle say that, it was like he was speaking to my soul. Was like, well, don't do these 2 things to lose her. And that's what I wanted to make sure that I did. So when we came back, we ended up getting our first bank account together, and she ended up being the controller of money, and it actually made the money go a lot further than what I thought I had, because how she managed the money, it was totally different. So, and he, to this day, that's one of the biggest truths I ever heard.
So you guys never had any arguments about money?
I wouldn't say that in the beginning, yeah, until we learned that. But our struggles with money actually changed about 5 years into our relationship. We was in Hampton, and it was coming up to the holidays. And I told my wife, I say, babe, you know what? Every year, I say, soon as the first of the year come around, we good. But after that, we broke. So we decided right then and there. My wife said to me, she said, if that's the thing that's keeping our money, we got to figure out what we spending our money at. So we started writing everything down.
Yeah.
We started seeing what we were spending around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, the New Year's, and everything. So we started seeing it wasn't that we had a money problem. The problem was us. So we learned how to curve our own money problem by doing things at a specific time. Like we started making sure that if we wanted to go out, we went out on a Friday or a Saturday. We ate home all throughout the week. That generated us enough money to go out and have a good time on a Friday or Saturday. We cooked at home on Sundays. We enjoyed each other. We invited the family over, and that was our thing. So, my wife actually taught me how to balance out money and not just spend it unlimitedly and not knowing that it's a consequence when you do those things. So
and we started planning a lot more because we plan a lot more better because we just didn't do freestyle. Oh, okay, let's do this. Okay.
And it took us 3 years
Yeah.
for us not to have that financial stump every year at the first of the year. We learned how to prepare for Christmas. We learned how to prepare for Thanksgiving. We learned how to prepare to give gifts. And we learned how to prepare to make everybody that we wanted to make happy. We learned how to prepare to do those things. And it ended up stopping us from having this financial fall at a certain point every year. And I think a lot of people go through that, but they can't even pinpoint what's the thing that's causing them this financial burden by not looking at their spending and their habits. And that's the one thing that we did.
So, right. Okay. So you guys, it seems like you have a pretty easy going relationship. You said that Vanessa's really easy. Have you had any major, think about, cause you've been together a long time. Have you had one major situation or argument that made you feel like, wow, how are we going to get over this? And how did you get over it?
The one thing, I can say any major because we always had a good communication. Like we knew exactly how to communicate. If we have an issue, okay, we'll sit down and discuss, okay, this is the issue. This is what I see, or this is just, this is what the situation is, and let's see how to resolve it. Like we always knew the fact that we never went to bed mad because we knew that wasn't a good thing. Going to bed mad if we just had a disagreement and then we don't even call it like an argument. It's just always a disagreement or something I just see. Just like he said, I'm 5 years older than him. There's things I would see that he wouldn't see. And it's just like I would tell him I'd been through it. And with him, it's a lot of times I just let him, okay, I'm gonna let you do it, and then you'll see exactly what I mean. Because some things, being 5 years older, I've been through a whole lot more than he was. Mm-hmm. So it's just the fact that I'll okay, this is what's going to happen, but I'm going to let you go ahead and go through it, and then we'll talk about it after it's all over and done, and he'll see it. And then that's the only way. It's just better to sometimes show him what's going to happen and let him go through it, and then we'll discuss it after. And then that's why we got such a better understanding, because I didn't say, oh, I'm old chastising, or because I'm older, I'm going to talk to him like a child, because he never was a child. He's always been the man in the relationship. So it's just, that's how it always worked out for us because of that. Because our communication, we can talk about anything, and it's just, it went from point A to point B. It's just, that's how we actually handle it.
So what are some other systems or things that you guys have in place? You said never go to bed angry. What are some other things that are important to you for your marriage that you make sure you do every day? Or
communicate. We always communicate. Mm-hmm. Always the fact that we always let each other know what's going on. It's always the fact that
we keep our relationship fresh too. Yeah. So it's like we don't get complacent with each other. Well, we just, okay, Vanessa's home, da 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 da. You sit around, you look around. No, we always we wake up some mornings. I get up early because of our business. So when I get up, I try to do my damnedest, make sure I don't wake Vanessa up, but it don't work. Because if she hear me talking about business, she coming in and she gonna make sure she can help me out. So and actually it is very beneficial to me because we able to take care of things at a much quicker pace than a lot of people do, because I know how to hand off a lot of things to my wife to do because she's good at what she do and she knows I'm good at what I do. So we give each other our space. So, for us to have a situation is really hard because I understand her role in the relationship is 50%, and I understand my role in the relationship is 50%. And I don't overstep my boundaries. I don't go 51. I don't go 55. I don't go 60-40. No, it's 50-50. I honor everything she say to the max. When me and her talking, I told Uncle Tony this one time. I understand why you and your wife the way y'all lives. When y'all have the meetings up in the room about the finances, it ain't nobody else there.
Nobody there.
It's you and your wife right there having them conversations. Unc told me, Gerard, you right. He said, I tell everybody that to this day. So, and until he left here, that was one of the things that he used to always say back to me. So, you know, I really try my damnedest to make sure I respect my wife and her opinion, because she respects mine. So it's only fair.
So you said you guys keep your relationship fresh. How do you do that?
What? We date.
We talk.
We date. We talk. We send each other messages. I make sure every week I send my wife. I catch her off guard. I catch her by surprise. I send her something real sweet, real special. I love you, babe. I love what you do. Thank you for having my back. And then she'll send me something
Vice
back.
versa.
Right. And then it'll be later in the week. Well, babe, I'm thinking about you. I just want to see you this. So, you know, it's good when you could pick up your phone from your wife that you've been married to for 13 years plus, and you could see, like, this still my girlfriend, you know. And it's an awesome thing that we still courting each other, and we still dating each other, and we still loving each other, and just not loving each other, but being in love with each other, because it takes a lot for you to you can't be ungenuine when you send somebody a text and telling them how much I can't wait to see you. Like, I look at the clock every day. My wife get off at 4. Man, every day I call her at 3. Hey, babe, you ain't working late today, is you? Nah, I'm leaving here at 4 o'clock. Well, I can't wait to see her. And it's like every day at the same time. It's like it's automatic. Like when she's coming home, I'm damn near giddy about the shit. All she doing is coming home.
Yeah, because I was here one day and I seen you start cleaning up. I'm like, damn, what? We gonna kick your ass?
No, I want my wife, when my wife to come home, I want her to be super comfortable.
Less to worry about.
Yes, nothing to worry about when she come here, but me and her. We could have a good time, sit out back and have a drink, sit down and talk about her day, sit down and do our thing, and she ain't got to worry about nothing when she come home. And for the longest, she had it like that for me. So we in a situation where I could do it for her. Can't wait for it.
Are you OCD?
No, I don't think I OCD. I like my feng shui. I feel like, you know, energy can't move if the house is cluttered or it's not clean or things are out of place. Like it makes me feel a certain way. So, I mean, for my feng shui, I'm very spiritual person. So I like my feng shui where when you come in, you can see the energy moving around. And I wouldn't say OCD, but I definitely like my vibe now.
So did you guys have any, I know we talked about expectations earlier, and we like to talk about gender roles. Do you guys have, what is your method in your house? Who does what? Do you do it together? Do you share chores? Is it something that you know your spouse doesn't like?
It's different because, like,
I work. I'm going in Florida 6 months out the year, so I'm not here. So when I come here, my wife don't have to cook, clean, go to the grocery store. She don't have to do nothing but go to work and come home.
And when I go into Florida, I just take care of everything I know I need to take care of. So I take care of everything that they need.
And I beat her to the punch before she even get there.
Does, yeah.
She don't have to do nothing when she come to Florida too.
Yeah, so.
She already gonna be off the road while I want her to come here.
Yeah,
I make sure everything washed. I make sure everything clean. I make sure everything is done so she don't have to do nothing. But get in transition, take a bath, get in the bed. That's it.
And get up for work.
And get up for work.
That's good.
That's how we pay for it.
Yeah, exactly how we do.
So what do you guys think? You have a question, babe? I'm sorry.
Did y'all see any of that stuff going around with Nicole Murphy?
No, what's going on with
and her and the married man? What's his name?
There's a picture of Nicole Murphy and Antoine Fuqua kissing. He's married to Layla Rashawn. Layla Rashawn is an actress. We've seen her in Waiting to Exhale, and what else is she? Boomerang.
We immerse ourselves in work and listening so much.
So you don't keep up with what's
Yeah, we don't
like
keep, 'cause
our
we're
biggest
like,
thing is reading.
I'm trying to figure who he says Rashawn. I'm like, who's that?
We don't
Yeah.
have an idea of what the news don't really excite us.
Yeah, y'all not big on social media either. Do you
No.
feel like that help with your energy and your feng shui?
Oh man,
and your
very-
relationship.
very much.
I think it is because I think you get caught up in reality TV,
Right.
And you just like, okay, well, this is
you putting
because
on
I've
a
heard
facade.
other people.
You putting on a show for people
Yeah.
when you doing it for social media.
I've seen other friends that I
Everything
know
you
that
do is
do
for the
that, yeah.
gram. Damn. So what you
Yeah.
doing for yourself?
People get caught up in social media and,
And
all
they
that
really
other
do,
stuff. You're
man. Like people vacations ain't even about the vacations. It's about making sure everybody see where I'm at.
Yeah.
Man, I love going places and being able to share it with my family because we have a family chat in our family. And I think for me to be so family orientated, it's a beneficial for me to see my family. If it makes me feel like I'm there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's an excitement to see it from my family and just my family because I know I don't have to put on the show for my family. So I think when people do things and your relationship is so social media orientated, you really don't have a relationship.
You live in
got
that
a
false
relation-
life. You
right.
don't- it's
a
not
reality
reality.
show.
That's all
it's
it
a
is.
reality show.
Because they human, you just don't see the human side of what they really go through, or like, okay, because there's no way you look at reality and like, wait a minute, it's too much drama. It's just not. That can't be real. There's no way.
So me and Ryan had a little sidebar conversation outside, and one thing he mentioned was about keeping a marriage fresh was new experiences. Talk a little bit about that because the question that we have is like, what are the keys, the most important things that you need to make sure your marriage is going to last? So I know one you mentioned having new experiences together. So can you talk about some of the things y'all do?
To me, and I tell my wife this all the time, that's like the best part about being with her is my experiences. Like I want to share everything with her. I want to do everything with her. I want to go everywhere with her. So my experiences stay so fresh and so attached to her to I don't want to see nothing or want to be with nothing else. And we talk about it all the time about the experiences. That's
Exactly.
the whole life. Your whole life. That's all it's about is having the most wonderful experiences that you can have.
I mean, we
So
can be
why
sitting
you
out the
ain't-
back and it's just we enjoy each other, just going
Yes.
on, just sitting on the back, you know, and just relaxing, conversation, just go from one
Babe,
thing to
we
the
sat
next.
in the
And this-
bathroom the other day for
Yeah.
20 minutes. And what you told me after we finished talking in the bathroom.
I love it. I enjoy this having us this conversation.
babe,
Like,
this
thank you for this conversation.
babe.
This before I went to work, and we were like, okay,
That's before she went to work, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like I have an idea,
and we go on. We just like, okay, let's just go ahead.
and we'll
what
have
you
a
think.
business meeting
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, middle of the day,
Yeah.
just about what I'm thinking about. What
Yeah.
you
Oh,
think
he'll
about?
call me at work, babe. What you think about this? I said, okay, let's strategize. Let's see this and that, and the things that he didn't think about. I was like, what about this, that? And he said, okay, let's go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that's how this came into fruition because we was having a conversation. I was telling her, I was like, what do you think about this idea I have for this podcast? And she was like, nah, let's do this.
Was not the first thing I said, or was it?
You just put your input in it, and that's how we came up with this. That's all I'm saying. I'm not downing you. I'm saying that's how this came into fruition because of you. We had a conversation,
Yep.
and this is what we came up with.
That'd be the best ideas though. When you come up and you
The
ping off
collab.
each other to collab,
collab.
it's the best thing because you just like, okay, let's try it. Let's do this and see what it will. See what
And with
goes.
the collab, is two spirits becoming one too.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said again, I'm very spiritual. So I see energy. I think a lot of people don't see energy. I see
Mm-hmm.
energy a lot, and I tell my wife that. So I can see when energies disagree. I can see when energies agree, and I can see the energy flow. And it's a crazy thing. And you can also feel these things too. So, you know, for you guys, I think you guys are on the same pace to go to the same places. But you just got to give it the time to let it nurture, mature, and become what it's supposed to become. Because, I mean, to see y'all together, the way that you back up my brother, I mean, is impressive to me and to everybody in my family. and it's vice versa. You know, the one thing I know about Jerry is I'm not as handy as Jerry with my hands. I might be a good thinker, I might be a good spender, but when it comes to my brother, shit, he could put something together from nothing.
That's why
damn
we
near
call
like
him.
MacGyver.
That's what I said. We
call
trapped in the
him
woods.
for
If I'm with him,
Shit, you
I'm
all-
good. Yeah.
boy, man, you got the best nigga it is.
right.
Every
So
time.
you know, it's good when those different energies and those different spirits come together, because all it do, you
Balance.
guys just end up completing each other. That's it, and that's the biggest key to marriage, is finding that person that completes you.
So did
It's
y'all
not
look
gonna
at?
be perfect.
Did y'all look at any of the other podcasts we did?
I did. I think my wife.
I haven't.
I told
Yeah,
her
she told me- he
about
told
the
me
one
about
that
it.
I saw with
Auntie Brenda.
with the Beasleys.
So-
And I enjoyed that.
So
one.
y'all didn't listen to? I mean, y'all didn't do the 5 love languages
No,
quiz.
No,
I
we
haven't.
didn't. But
No.
I told my wife, it's crazy
Just
that you
some-
asked about that. I told her about it, and
Oh,
I
for
was
3,
like,
babe.
the way that Sabrina explained it,
She
it
sure did.
really
Oh, for
made
3.
me want to look into it a little bit more, because she went into depth. See, my brother, he's a person where he's very straightforward and to the point. It's A and B. Sabrina
Yes.
able to get to Z and hit every letter in the alphabets. Not Jerry. He's going from A to Z. That's it. And the way that Sabrina explained the love languages is she made it make so much sense, and she was so detailed about it that I can't. When my wife came home, I said, "Babe, I'm sitting in the back for you." I already had her drink
I'm
ready.
ready.
We sat down, babe, and I'm lying, babe.
He did.
And we sat down, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Babe." And then we listened to a little bit of it, just that part about the love language, because she was intrigued about it. And we got a lot of information about it. And I love the fact when you talked about the way Jerry loves and the way he gives, and how it's different from the way that you love and the way that you give. But you paying attention to Jerry because of the way that you love him. And the thing about the love languages is you're getting him, you just want the other significant other to understand that, hey, this is what you do to show your love. This is what I do to show my love. It's not about the actual 5 languages that's involved in it. It's being able to make sure that you understand your mate. That is the biggest love language of them all. And when it shouldn't be a nonchalantness when you know how your significant other loves you, and when your significant other able to tell you how you love them. That takes a lot of looking at. That takes a lot of sitting down. That takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of love.
So
For you to recognize
from
that.
hearing that, what do you think your love language is, or what do you think Vanessa's love language is?
Well, I already know what my wife's love language is. Her love language is, for me, is to take care of me. And my love language is to her, is to take care of her.
No, I'm saying out of the 5, babe, run them down, babe.
See, I told you, I like that you guys talked about it, but that wasn't the key for me when I listened to it.
Yeah.
The biggest love language it was the understanding.
Your mate.
Your mate. And that's all that's what I was trying to get across when I explained it. I love how you guys broke it down, but all you guys did is go back to understanding. It's about understanding your mate. And when Sabrina first came on, the first thing she did, she called out the ways that you show your love to her. Then she went and showed how you talked about her ways of how she loved you. And to me, she had that from the beginning to end. She already knew your ways and how you is when you love. It might not be like nobody she ever met. It might be better. It might be worse. But the thing is, she understand it. And she still love you for it. And that's what I got out of I don't want to get nothing else when it comes to the love languages but understanding my wife and how she loves me, and making sure my wife understands how I love her. That's what I got from the love languages. And it might be a little deeper. That might be the undertones of what it's all about.
So
But that's
you like
what I
me.
really.
So you like me, basically.
Well, he actually talked about it without specifically saying it. When he said he makes sure before Vanessa gets home, everything's done. She don't have to cook. She don't have to clean. And I'm sure that makes Vanessa feel like he's taking care of her. So through just having
So
this,
out of the 5,
acts of
what
service,
would you think? Acts of service?
and quality time, because that's what they have down.
Yeah, quality
They love
time.
spending time together
Yeah.
and having these experiences, and they show each other like.
But that's
by
what I
doing
said.
something
I
else.
say you need all 5. It's
You
just,
do need all 5.
But the
But it
thing
breaks
is,
down,
if you
it
look at
comes
it,
back
if you
to
look
one
at
day.
all 5 as a pie, it just one to be more than the other if you take the test. That's it. That's all it's saying. But you still need all of them.
Yeah.
And the 5
And it's
is
stuff we do naturally.
acts
Well.
of service.
But it makes a lot of
Quality
sense though what you
time.
said though, bro, because a pizza pie is never perfect.
True.
You know, you might slice it to be perfect, but some pieces gonna end up being bigger than the others, and some pieces
Yeah.
gonna be small. But it still makes the whole.
A whole.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. That's good.
So I agree with you.
That's good. So do you guys have any words for us? I know you talked a little bit about what you saw in me coming into the family. You know, we've only been married like a year and a half. So what
Or any advice to the people who may be listening to this or married couples?
how do you make it last? How do you keep
I mean, keep it fresh and keep the love and be like a racehorse. Keep your damn blinders on, because people could make things look good, and the only reason people make things look good is because they hurting, and 9 times out of 10 they just want to see you hurting, and a lot of times people see your happiness and they see where you're going, and you just have to make sure that you keep your blinders on and keep everything fresh, keep everything original, and just love the person that you with. I mean, just find a reason. Just find a reason. I mean, what you say?
And
babe?
just communicate. I was big on communication, understanding. If you understand, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, nobody's perfect, you know, but if you understand, you can actually talk through what you go through, you're good. Because life is too short. Like, for us, we look at, that's why we enjoy being around each other, because life is so short. I mean, I've had friends that passed away that way younger than me, and the things they wish they could have done. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that wish we could have done. We just do it. And I think that's what makes it even fresh, because we just say, okay, let's do this. Let's go plan it. And we plan it. This is what we're going to do. Like, even like this summer, we planned all our trips. We already knew what we are going to do. And we're planning for next year. So it's like, you know, we keep everything fresh. We just, you know, we still, like I said, we still have our dates.
Y'all
our
dating.
lunch check. He'll come to work sometimes surprising. Hey, babe, let's go to lunch. I'm outside. Okay. Let's do it. You know, or we like, oh, let's think. You know, and one of our favorite things to do, people might think is small and sleek. We like to go to Walmart. Just go in Walmart. We have a good time just in Walmart. Just BSing, but we just going. We went to Walmart today. We had a good time in Walmart. Where everybody spent a whole hour. We're like, well, damn. We've been in Walmart for a whole hour. This long, like, damn. And we used to do it in Florida. We used to come down, like, we go late night.
Oh, late night. Oh, man.
Oh, late night. You be like, what the hell?
Man, we get up like maybe about 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and just go to Walmart for a whole hour.
And just walk around.
Yeah.
See, make ourselves
Self-
we need something for the
And
house.
we don't even need Jack. We just go, okay. That's our thing. It might sound crazy. Or we just, oh, let's go to Dairy Queen. Let's go get ice cream. Or what is that,
I
Culver's?
don't even need ice
Yep.
cream.
One more thing. When you was talking about when y'all came back from that trip, what made y'all decide like that was the time to get a bank account? And before you answer, I seen a article on that, and it was talking about how couples that have financials is separate are higher rate of divorce.
To divorce.
But what made that when y'all came back? What made that like y'all decided? Me reading that article.
Well, we kind of know from that is the fact that we know from then. I mean, he actually knew the fact that I wasn't going to go anywhere, and we know we trust each other. Where the fact that he got access to all the bank accounts, our names on all the bank accounts we have, and we trusted each other. So where the fact that we know,
but too, at the same time, Vanessa it's a little bit more than that, because it's crazy. Because when I met my wife, she was in a career. I had a job, so I had a child when I met Vanessa, And the number one thing Vanessa made sure that I did every month was pay my child support. Whether I had enough money or if I didn't have enough money, she made sure that I had enough money to do that. So it was some things before that trip that made me realize. But the answer to the question that you asking me, the thing that made me realize it is that I didn't want to lose my best friend, and I didn't want to lose my wife. So I knew right at that point, when it's like God be talking to you, and I think people look for God to be this cloud, this smoke, this air, this thing that's unimaginable. God is everyday people. Jesus tried to explain that to us when he asked us, when I was hungry, did you feed me? Those whole list of questions that Jesus went through and told the people, depart from me not, I know you. That's everyday people. And when my uncle T.Y. told me that, I took it to heart that was God talking to me through T.Y.
Yeah.
So grateful that you could speak through someone and I'm able to listen to the call that you got out here for me. And that's the thing that made me really just turn the attention to, well, if you say you looking for a wife, this is wife material. You can't F this up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that made me come back and want to change.
So you kind of felt like you needed to tighten up, like.
Oh, had to be, yeah.
So was it more? So it was you because she didn't know
And I had
about
the
that
patience.
conversation.
It's just
I had the patience.
I
I was very patient with it because I said
she used to tell me that all the
Because
time.
you already knew.
She
I already
saw.
knew.
You already
My
knew.
wife tell me all the
already knew. I
time.
said,
I ask
just
her.
I just
Sometimes
wait.
we go
Yeah.
out. We be on vacation just by ourselves. Another one of the things we like to do. We like to drive to North Carolina, Cherokee, and we have a 2.5 hour talk. And sometimes I ask my wife. I say, babe, what make you so patient with me? And she always tell me, babe, I just knew. You just had to grow up
Yep.
and
You had
come
to do
along.
fine-tuning, that's it.
Once you figured out who you was,
Yeah.
I already knew who you was. I saw it in you already. And that's an amazing thing with it. For somebody else to see something that shit, I ain't even, if somebody would have told me, I've been with my wife for 13 years. If somebody would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I would have had half of the stuff and met this person that I met with half of the stuff, I would have signed up right then and there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been nothing else.
V, where you think that patience came from?
My dad, my family. It's just the fact that, and just, what you think? Is something different?
Yeah.
was
Be honest with the people. That came from you going through bullshit.
Yeah, but also but it still had a foundation.
Yeah,
I mean,
your dad is a big person
is a
in
big
your life.
person. So it's just,
That's one of the
and
first
then
persons
the
that I
relationship
ever
I
met.
had is just, it had before him. It was just, I learned a lot from that relationship. It taught me a lot. It taught me not to take a lot of bullshit. It took me a lot, sometimes, to be patient and just understanding, and it's just in the communication, and that's I didn't have.
And the
Before
one
I
thing
met-
that's the
I
one
met-
thing I love
I met
about my
Gerald.
wife.
I
She's
didn't have that.
always been the same person. Like,
Yep.
her love don't change. It's the person. So, for me, that taught me a lot, meeting my wife.
All right, that's good.
Man, it was great having y'all. Y'all shared a
We
lot.
learned a lot. Yeah. That was
And
great.
I hope everybody out there listening learned a lot
Yes, sir. We
Well,
enjoyed
learn.
our time too.
We sure
from
did.
from our conversations. If you have any other questions or stuff, you could send them in, and we could ask your questions to different couples, and we could get multiple person to give feedback on your situation or whatever you're going through. But
Don't forget to follow the 4 Show, THE, the number 4, SHO, on YouTube. And that way you can get access to all of our Learn and Love Together podcast. And you can follow us on Instagram at the 4 Show and Learn and Love Together as well. So it's the 4 Show with the red stop sign. So if you click subscribe, you'll
Yeah.
see all the links to the videos.
and check out some of the other interviews that I have on the 4th Show as well. And we're gonna try to keep this thing coming every week. Every week we're gonna have something for you. If it's not a podcast with a couple, it'll be a podcast with just me and my wife. But we're gonna bring something for you every week. Thanks for listening.
Yep. Learn and love together.
Subscribe,
Like and
hit that button.
Share.
And thanks again.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for the McGills
Thank you
coming
for the
to talk
McGills.
to y'all.
And we out.
And we out.